it's 2020. I know you're wondering where I got this special edition. Pros only, pro circuit helmet. I wonder if you can even hear me right now. Yeah, this pro circuit helmet was probably one of the best gifts I've gotten. This year was from a family friend from church, but shout out to you if you're watching, by the way. I love this thing. I can't ride in it. I'm not gonna ride my dirt bike in it. That's why I've been taking a break from YouTube, by the way. Got a new toy and been putting some hard laps on that thing with this old helmet right here. And I have another one sitting right here too, but my room's basically filled with dirt bike stuff. And got some popcorn to celebrate the new year. I can't believe it's 2020 already. It's insane, guys. Like, it's insane. But we're not here to talk about helmets or anything else. Not even about, come here, Lulu. Not even about this cute dog right here. We're not here to talk about that. I'm sorry, Bella. Kind of interrupted you there. I'm sorry. We're here to talk about one of the greatest race single nights Supercross history. You're probably in the decade, but in Supercross history. I was gonna do top 10 best seasons in the decade, all the seasons in the decades ranked, and then I was gonna do top 5 overall races in the decade, but had no time for it. I got that dirt bike and been riding a lot of that, so I just didn't have time and a lot of family stuff, so, and I kind of miss my friends. Yeah, but we're here to talk about the single best night in Supercross history, but in the decade. Let's go. What other race could I have picked this year? I mentioned it was from 2017. I have since taken the helmet off because I'm not wearing that the whole video, and you don't need to see me in a helmet. And I'm eating popcorn, so bear with me here. But yeah, what other Supercross night, race night could I have picked? This was crazy, and being at this race was even crazier. Sorry guys, I'm gonna be doing a lot of things during this video. Just bear with me. It's New Year's. I'm happy. A little too throttle happy right now, as they would say. I don't even have a throttle on me, but I've gotten throttle happy on my bike. And let's start off with, I'm not gonna go over my experience at this race, but I am gonna go deeply into the night show here. What I remember from TVs and being there, I'm gonna tell you, going to a race, if you're on the bottom floor, the bottom deck, right by the track, especially at a race like this where it's so tight and so close and good racing, expect to be standing up, especially in this stadium. I will tell you where I was sitting. I have a video up here on this channel. You can go to my oldest videos, so just go to videos and date oldest. One of my oldest videos I've uploaded, one of the first videos, I think it was like the second video I ever uploaded, was me at this race. It was like 8 seconds long. It was of opening ceremonies. But we are right behind these guys' heads right here, like right in between Smith and Savacci, like at the top. That's where we were sitting, so we had a clear view of the finish line there, and so now I'm gonna go off experience here and what I remember from videos and TV coverage. I know it was good if we were at this race, because going back and watching the TV coverage, hi Bella, going back and watching the TV coverage, it was windy and the broadcast kept fading in and out, and you missed a lot of good stuff, but I mean, you missed a whole podium interview with Blake Baggett when he won his heat race. But we go over this whole Supercross night. Jason Anderson ended up being your fastest qualifier on the day for 450s. I don't remember who was 250s. I don't even think I ever found out who was 250 fastest qualifier. It might have been Hill, because you know that guy was flying. He had nothing to lose. So, first heat for the West. I'm just going to go over the whole night, so if you don't want to hear this and skip to the end, skip to the mains. I don't know when I'm going to start talking about the mains, because that is crazy there. Quickly gloss over the heat races. 250 West heat. It was Dakotas who took the lead and took off and won that one. That was surprising there. Then East heat. A lot of people forget that Osborne went down in the heat race too in that first corner. Had to come all the way back up to like 8th or 9th or into a transfer spot. I don't think people realize that, but he crashed in that first corner in the heat race too. Had to come back up and work his way to a transfer spot, which he did. And Joey Savacci won that heat. Now, I don't even want to get in the 450 heat races. We had Baggett and Dungey. How can I forget that? Baggett and Dungey won them. Funny story though, it gets forgotten a lot. From memories I have at this race, Davey Millsaps crashed in the heat coming down the big straightaway, like off the sand rollers, off the track. And then in the semi, he goes to the semi and does the same exact thing. It's like, come on, Davey. It's kind of like Tomac in East Rutherford 2019 when he crashed in the same exact spot. It was like that for Davey Millsaps. It was hilarious. And then the 450 LCQ, I remember being very entertaining. Nick Schmidt and Devin Raper had a gnarly battle. I think someone else was in there, but I don't really remember. They had a gnarly battle, and finally, one lap to go, they cross over the finish line, and Raper comes in that next turn and just, I don't remember how he crashes, but he eats it hard and just gives up. Says, okay, that's my season there, and that's it. Now we get to the biggest talking points of the weekend, of this weekend. These crazy main events. The heat races kind of gave us an instance of what was going to happen, but I mean, come on. Joey Savacci won a heat race, and I did not see any of Joey Savacci that I saw in Minneapolis that year or that heat race that we saw in the main event. Who saw this coming? So, the big storyline is Zach Osborne going down in the first corner, and while this is happening, Cianciarulo gets out front, takes a whole shot, gets out front, and Savacci's behind him. So it's like, okay, Joey Savacci's going to win this title because he's going to pass Cianciarulo and take off, and there you go. Nope. After the first lap, they come around the finish line, and Savacci tucks the front end in the next turn. That's great. So, he goes back to like 7th or 8th, or whatever he was in. Or he goes like, I don't remember what position he dropped back. I probably should have watched this race if I came here, but it's so engraved in my memory. Like, how could you forget this race? So he goes back to 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay. Then, Jordan Smith's in the position to win. And then first, he crossroads off the track, almost goes down, like he saved it there. And goes off track, comes back on, that's okay, goes around, finish line, rhythm section, out of the stadium. Coming out of the stadium, and all of a sudden I hear from the stadium, I hear my sister freak out like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was like, what happened? And I look over there and he's down. I was like, oh my god. It's like nobody, it was almost like, and I think Ralph Sheen said this on the broadcast that night, that nobody wanted to win that championship, and his exact words were, if they're not careful, Adam Cicero is going to win this thing. And then, okay, it's like, okay, Savachi's going to win it. And then something weird started happening. Something that I don't think many of us expected. Joey Savachi started going backwards. And boy was he going backwards. And meanwhile, Osborne's still trying to come through the field. Let me say something right now. Osborne was not down for, like slip down, get up 5 seconds. No, he was down for a good 20 to 25 seconds with Dakota Alex. Which is funny because he had problems with Dakota Alex in Detroit that year when they went down in the first corner. I just thought that was funny. And so he's coming through the pack. He's like, okay, well, Osborne, he's not going to get him. And then McAdoo gets right behind Savachi. Is like, and I'm not really paying attention to point. I mean, I was still a little bit little. I was 8th grade. I didn't watch it as closely as I watch it now, or try to. With the points, I was like, oh, this is a good race. And honestly, that last 2 laps, when I go there, I watch the leader. But that race, so much was going on, I didn't know who to watch. But I still watched Cicero, who's still winning the race. Went wire to wire, that was amazing. And, fun fact, I heard this, I think, on Start Your Systems. Shout out to Kellen Brower. If McAdoo gets around Savachi, that would have gave the title to Adam Cicero. So, but McAdoo couldn't put the move on him. And here comes the 16 of Zach Osborne. Dude was on a mission to win that race. Well, win that title, I'm sorry. Basically, the point situation that night was, if Osborne, if he beats Savachi and Smith, he wins the title, and if any of them beat any of those riders, so one of those guys, whoever crosses that finish line first out of these 3 dudes on screen, wins the title, like, straight up. Like, it doesn't matter what place they're in, unless you're, like, dead last and since the rule comes back. Then, last few laps, Osborne started to catch Savachi, and then last lap, Savachi makes a pass on Hayden Melross, and Osborne's kind of screwed at that point. But now he's really far back on the last lap. I don't know if Savachi didn't know that he was coming, or like he wasn't reading the pit board because he thought he had it. Because I'm pretty sure Savachi's mechanic was telling Savachi, hey, certain 16 on Husqvarna's coming, you better watch out, you better guard your position, and you better not cry if he takes you out. And Osborne gets around Melross before the big triple, and they go into the whoop section, and Savachi screws it up. And Savachi screws up the second whoop section, and boom! We all know what happens next. Osborne takes him down, wins the title. Now, I'm not mad at the move. The only thing I could say about that is, go back and watch Savachi when they're going into that corner. He never looks back. I feel like it kind of surprised him that Zacho was there and Zacho was going to make that move, because I don't know, if you go back and watch it, it makes a lot of sense, because they come into the corner, Savachi's got his line picked out, and he's kind of like surprised when Osborne shows up and takes him down. I don't know why He seemed surprised. Once again, of course, Savachi's mechanic was telling him he was coming. Maybe Savachi wasn't listening. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. But it just seemed weird to me. And Osborne's your 250 East champion, and Hill won the West that year. But he wrapped it up in Salt Lake, which was a great 250 West main event too, but not as great as this. Cianciarulo wins the race, and basically, Savachi, he went silent after that. Like, I still haven't heard him actually talk about it. And like, even when he won his first race back from that in 82 in the Triple Crown, he's like, the way last year ended wasn't ideal. And I kind of get that. He just wants to put that behind him. But I made a Joey Savachi's career in a nutshell video a little bit ago. That's what he's going to be remembered for, guys. That's what Joey Savachi's going to be remembered for. But we're not here to talk about just Joey Savachi's race. We're talking about the whole Vegas night. Now, here's where mixed opinions come in. The 450 main event. So, they take off, and Dungey grabs the whole shot, and my mindset at that point was, well, Dungey's going to win this race and win the title, and Tomac's going to be crying because he lost another one. And no, that really doesn't happen. Eli, with like 2 laps in the race, stuffs him in a corner, and that crowd was going nuts. Like, they were going nuts for the Osborne thing, but this whole main event, we were going nuts here, so. Osborne, not Osborne style, like he stuffs him, Dungey's like straight up in the corner. You guys know what happened. So then, and Anderson almost makes a move. I feel like, oh, hold on. I feel like Anderson was doing a teammate thing with Dungey because he deliberately says in his podium interview at the end of the race that he wanted them to let them do their thing. That was his exact words. And yes, Dungey goes straight up in the berm, comes back, I believe third. Anderson gets around him. Anderson battles with Tomac a little bit. I mean, he almost gets around him. Like, that was crazy there. But then Anderson just kind of pulls over for Dungey and lets him back by, and they battle it out. And it was kind of like bar to bar the whole race. In about 6 minutes from the end, Tomac beefs up the quad, and Dungey goes flying around the outside. And then come around the sweeper, down the straight, the big ski jump where Smith crashed into the sand, into those jumps in the back, and then they come up to the triple. Tomac stuffs him. Dungey goes back off track, and this is really where we see the bunching technique come into play. The bunching technique, if you guys don't know, is Eli Tomac uses technique here where if you go back and watch the race, it's clear that he slows up the pace of the race and really slows up the pace of the race. I feel like he kind of was making mistakes on purpose so that he had a chance to run Dungey high into a corner or just run him wide in the mechanics area, as someone would say. And then, so he stuffs him, Dungey gets back on track, Grant's battling, Reed's battling, Anderson's battling, like, it's crazy up there. Baggett was up there, but he went down, finished 8th. Then I think it was like 5 minutes from the end. Reed makes a move on Anderson in the Osborne Savachi corner, and Anderson straight up punts him in the finish line. Straight up punts him. Are you okay, Bella? Bella? Hold on, guys. What's the matter? What's the matter? Bella's fine. Straight up punts him in a corner, and I don't know if that's Anderson saying, I'm finishing on the podium, you're not. Or that's Anderson saying, you're not blowing Dungey off the berm because you know he was going to blow him off the berm. Bella, you okay? My poor dog's going crazy here. Bella, you alright? Just lay down, okay? Feel like Anderson, because Chad Reed, Josh Grant, monster guys, and Eli's a monster guy. I'm talking about Monster Energy, but they are all monsters out there. That's crazy. They would have blown Dungey off the berm and gotten a big check from Monster Kawasaki or Monster Energy, whatever. They would have done it. Or Reed would have done the St. Louis thing where he holds up Dungey and Tomac says okay, and then a ton of guys get around Dungey. That would have happened. And feel like Anderson was saying, nuh-uh, you ain't doing this. I'm taking this here. And yeah, he was going to the front, and Anderson stopped his pace. So that was about 3 minutes ago. Then we get to the final lap. Coming down the big straightaway, the Smith jump, I like to call it, and the doubles in the back, and then Tomac lets Dungey by. He clearly lets Dungey by so that he can stuff him in the next corner because everyone's pretty close at this point. Seems like it's a little bit too close though because he stuffs him in the corner after the triple before the whoop. Slows him down, comes to a complete stop. Anderson goes flying by. And let me tell you something right now. If Anderson never went flying by right there and Dungey finished where he finished and Tomac won that race, Tomac would have been your 2017 champ. And probably would have had 3 straight Supercross titles by now. But, Eli Tomac's going to Eli Tomac and wad himself up every single year. Oh, it's Eli Tomac's year for the 4th straight year. Yeah. Nice try, guys. So, yeah. Anderson wins the race. Tomac finished 2nd. Grant finished 3rd. And Dungey finished 4th. And won the title by 5 points. And that was basically our night. And on the way back to the hotels, it started raining. Yes, it started pouring in Vegas. I don't know how, why, what, I don't know. But that was crazy to see. That's a race that will go down in Supercross history. That is the best race by far in the decade. Best single night in Supercross, main event wise. Pretty sure there's nights better than this, but I just can't think of them. Because this one was just so great. And if you agree with me, please leave a like on this video. Comment that you agree with me. Comment your thoughts on the whole bunching technique and all the points I covered in this video. That would be helpful. And a happy new year to you. Let's have a great 2020. And let's see if it's going to be Eli Tomac's year. Keep on the lookout. Thursday I'm posting my A1 predictions. And I'll give my A1 winner in that video. I'm still trying to process it right now. And I'll try to give my top 5 and tell you how Saints Row is going to do and everything. That is on Thursday. And then after the race, I don't know, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, one of those days after the A1 race, I will do a little wrap-up show. And we'll try to find out who's racing the 250 West this year, and maybe I can make a call on that. But we really don't know who's racing 250 West until, like, A1 comes around. And I will not have the luxury this year unless I go to a Supercross race, which I have my tickets for Anaheim too already to watch practice, so I really won't know. I'll just know fastest qualifiers because I'll be checking Twitter every 5 minutes because I'm a psycho when it comes to this stuff. So Thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year. It's 2020. And remember, Telmac will never win a title.